Oh, I can see them. Hi. Yep, I'm here.
Well, we can hear you, Christina. Hello. And it's 12 o'clock. I suppose we need to start.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, let's start. Good afternoon and
Yep, I
welcome
can
to
see them.
this
Yep, and they
LinkedIn
can.
Live
Well, I
chat.
think anyway they can see me.
If we can
Yeah.
ask Christina to mute herself,
Okay.
please.
Okay. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
They smile, so I don't know if they can hear me.
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Yep. Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Thanks.
Okay, at this point, I think all employers are here except Bill, right? And I assume he will be joining a bit later. If I can ask you just to mute yourself so I will not have echoing and I will start right away. Thank you. So good afternoon and welcome to this LinkedIn live chat. We are delighted to have you join us today. My name is Hasni Gasmayan and I'm the Director of Business, Employment and Training Services at Calgary Catholic Immigration Society, or CCIS as popularly known. CCIS is a non-profit, non-denominational agency committed to making immigration a positive experience for refugees, immigrants, and the community. CCIS offers over 95 programs in 26 locations throughout Calgary and Southern Alberta. We support all aspects of settlement and integration through programs and services in the areas of employment, community development, resettlement and integration, health and wellness, and families and children. With over 400 staff, collectively speaking 70 languages, we are the largest immigrant serving agency in prairies and one of the top 5 in Canada. This live conversation is an extension of our business, employment, and training services, which support the seamless integration of newcomers into the Canadian workforce. The business community plays a crucial role in the successful integration of newcomers into Canada's labor market. Over the last 40 years, CCIS has established hundreds of long-standing partnerships with employers from the business community in Southern Alberta. These amazing employers have become active collaborators in redefining the newcomer experience in our province. Today, I have the pleasure of being joined live session by esteemed panelists who have had a first-hand experience of recruiting newcomers, including youth, refugees, internationally trained professionals, and temporary foreign workers from our training programs. Please welcome Joel Mason from Iteration Insights, Bill Rivers, I believe Bill will be joining us shortly, from Colliers International, Lisa Cruz from the Van Ray Pascal or VRP Farms, Christina Fair from Duvray Greenhouses, Pearl Heisted from Tim Hortons, and Emma Bol Salome from Forex Travel and Tours. Thank you for joining us, dear employers. And together with employers, today we'll be talking about the role each of them play in helping to facilitate the economic integration of newcomers, as well as invaluable contributions of these newcomers to their businesses. Now, my message to those who are joining us live will encourage you to engage with us in the comment section. If you have any questions related to the theme or our discussion for our panelists, please feel free to ask them in the comments, and we'll do our best to address as many as we can or the time will allow us. So without further ado, let's get started. And to start with, I'd like each panelist to have a go at my first question. And the question is, please tell us about yourself. What do you do with your company? How long have you been partnering with CCIS? And what your experience has been hiring newcomers from CCIS programs? just to keep it in right order and just save time, maybe I will call the names and you can unmute yourself and talk. And we'll start with Joelle. Thank you, Joelle.
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. So happy to be here today. My name is Joelle, and I work in human resources for Iteration Insights. They are a data analytics consulting firm here in Calgary, Alberta. I've been with the company for almost 5 years, and personally, I love human resources at a strategic level because it creates win-win solutions for the business as well as for the people. So Iteration Insights has been working with CCIS for a few years now, and it is part of that strategic element that we can do to bring in these qualified analytics professionals to our company. So again, thank you for having me here today, and I'll pass it on to the next person.
Thank you, Joelle. And maybe next will be Lisa.
Hi everyone, I'm Lisa Cruz. I work for Bandre Pascal Farms or BRP Farms. I have been in the company for over 8 years, and I have been partnering with CCIS for a few years now, for the last 3 years. And we have a very good relationship, and we hired some Ukrainian that have been an excellent asset to our workforce. So thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. And next, Christina, please.
Hi, my name is Christina Fair. Thank you so much for having me today. I work for the Rye Greenhouse in Picture Butte, Alberta, and I have been with them now for 2 years. And I have been partnering with CIS for 2 years, I believe it is now. Yeah. So we do a lot of temporary foreign workers at the maximum. I'm at 85, and they are the backbone of the company. So we are very, very glad to be partnering with you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Christina. Next, Pearl, please.
Hi there. Thank you again for having me as well. My name is Pearl Heisted, and I work with Tim Hortons. I've been with Tim Hortons for almost exactly 20 years, but I've spent over 30 years in the food service industry. And I've been partnering with CCIS for 4 or 5 years now, and we are really thrilled to be able to hire people that are already in Canada looking for work, and CCIS offers a great support system for those people, and we're just really happy to have that support network, especially in the entry-level field, because there's so many new questions and for newcomers and for people entering the workforce for the first time. So thank you again.
Perfect. Next, Emma, please.
Hi, my name is Emma. It's a small business. I am a managing director. I run it. I used to work with corporate world before, but it is good to have your own business. Anyway, we've been partnered with CCIS for I think less than 10 years. We have a warehouse, so we hired a newcomer when they don't know English. And there was a time I experienced, we have to use the Google app just to say what we want, and then they will reply with the Google apps. And then and then we do hire some customer service. So yeah, it's a very big help for us to join CCIS.
Thank you, Emma. Thank you. And I saw that Bill just joined us. Just to keep you up to date, Bill, what we are doing, we are going through our first question, just telling about yourself, the company, and how long you collaborate with CCIS. So please.
Thanks for having me. I'm sorry for being so late. It was technical issues, but I'm Bill Rivers. I work for Colliers International. I've been working with the CCIS group for their fifth class power engineering pretty much since its inception. I've hired many students over the course of the years, but it's a great program, and we find a lot of value with their students.
Wonderful. Thank you all for introduction, and most importantly for your valuable partnership. And we will now go to our second question. Bill and his company, Colliers International, has been a great partner to our YYC Trades programs. And Emma's company, Forex Travel and Tour, has recruited from our Youth Hub program. So my second question is just to Bill and Emma. What value have the newcomers recruited from our programs added to your workplace? And do their skills align with your company's needs?
Sure. I'll go first. I find a steady and reliable source of operational talent for our building management systems that we use. They're trained well. They can hit the ground running with minimal orientation, and generally they fit very, very well. I currently have, I think, 8 or 9 CCIS graduates working for me directly right now. So yeah, they definitely work great.
Thank you, Bill. Emma?
Adaptability of newcomers, especially coming from I experienced hiring from Afghan mostly because of the warehouse. So um, it's like we usually have. They do respect. We have to respect them because of their religious background. There was one youth that came and every 3 o'clock or something they have to kneel and pray. We allow them because that's what they are, but I'm not so sure if other company will accommodate those practice. It's nice to integrate them with the activities in our warehouse, like uh, we ask them how to do it, and they are very helpful. Some of them stay for 3 years. Some of them they have to move. Yeah, they are really excited to see the how to do it, what to do it, where to go if in case they have we introduce them to some doctors, even personal things we help them a lot. So my point is, even if they move out and look for a more greener pasture, we they will not forget that we give them a great assistance while they are starting out. That's the objective, why I want to hire join with CCIS. Integration, adaptability, and most of all, they will come back and say, "Hey, I'm doing this and I'm doing that." So I'm happy to see those people that they are already like now. Some of them they speak very good English, right? So yeah, it is exciting at the same time because I'm an immigrant too. So when you are starting, it is hard, but if you have a good support group in corporate at the same time, help them assist with the other personal needs, that is really a good feeling. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Emma. Can't agree more with you. Being a newcomer back 2013 myself, I started with a job and experience that I will never forget, and I will be
Yeah.
always thankful for the first opportunity that employer trusted me and gave me this opportunity to prove my skills. So first experience is wonderful and unforgettable, and it's important for employers to make it right and for employees too. Thank you. So my next question is directed to Lisa and Christina. Your companies have hired many temporary foreign workers over the years. Have you faced any challenges such as language barriers and work culture differences when welcoming them to your workplace? How have you navigated those challenges, if there were any, and supported the success of these migrants to your workplace? Whoever wants to start first. Perhaps Lisa can start.
Well, yeah, we have been hiring temporary foreign workers for the last 18 years. Like we have a lot of years um, working with them. And for sure, we face a lot of challenges like the culture shock, the language barrier, and as Emma say, like using the a translator on the phone. Or the good thing is now that we have more temporary foreign workers, that they help each other, so we can rely now. We have foremen and other temporary foreign workers in higher positions, so they help us. We have a trainer and that they speak the language, so now it's easier. But yeah, at the beginning, yeah, we face a lot of challenges with the language barrier and the culture shock. We have to do an extensive new employee orientation, like explaining everything, like even to plug your car when it's a -15, like take your shoes off when you enter to your house, and like many little things that maybe you don't think of, but you have to explain it and go through them with all of this.
Lisa, and successful is just supporting, creating support group for new hires, kind of mentorship from those who were working
Yes.
longer time, maybe sharing the language, right? And most importantly, being patient and communicating, right, to explain. Thank you, Lisa. Let's hear from Christina.
Hi. Well, I think it's very much, I would agree, very much the same as what Lisa mentioned. Definitely, language barrier. So in one thing, I guess for myself, I was part of that solution. I speak Spanish, so I am the translator for especially newcomers coming in that don't speak the language. I can help them with that. And then, yeah, culture shock. We had some this year that came for the first time from Mexico, had never been out of Mexico before. And when we, gave them the Canadian money, the advance to go shopping, they didn't know the value of it, right? So it's going over that, and it's explaining that, it's helping them with the small things to have, to get them started and give them the confidence to continue coming. And so I agree with Lisa. We have been very fortunate in having just amazing people come and join the company. So we have 2 of them that have been with us 16 years now, and that have growing into the higher position. And so they have now in turn become mentors for the new ones coming in. And so that's a big, big help for me, that I don't carry all that by myself. So, and it is a huge culture shock. I know that for myself as well. But one thing I've found too is there's so many new things here, being patient. And then the other thing is inviting them to kind of have them share part of their culture with us as well. So that they feel seen and heard and also part of the company. And so that we get to taste some of, like, just see some of their culture, share some of the traditions, once a year or twice a year, cook us what would be a traditional Mexican food, and then share that with us and explain how you go about it. So that has been a big part of making them feel, because this is their second home away from home, especially when you continue coming year after year. And I want them to be part of the family that we have here. So when they come back, that they can look forward to coming back, and that they know that, they're seen and heard here. So that is, one of our things.
Wonderful. Thank you, Christina. My next question goes to Joel. Joel, our IT bridging program for foreign trained IT professionals has found a reliable partner in your company, Iteration Insights. With our city's tech scene on the rise and companies increasingly needing to fill specialized IT roles, are there any unexplored benefits that companies can tap by looking the way of newly arrived foreign trained professionals?
Absolutely. And it's quite a big question, actually. And so maybe just to provide some context for everyone on the LinkedIn Live, is the province of Alberta is going through quite a shift right now in transitioning into technology and investing a lot in tech and in analytics to help support us moving out of oil and gas. And so with this emerging industry, there's a lot of opportunity here. And there's also not necessarily a lot of available talent. We even partner with a lot of post-secondary institutions across the province to help develop their analytics programs. So with the analytics industry being so small, for us specifically, partnering with CCIS, for example, is a really strategic and amazing opportunity on a recruitment level to expand our talent pool. It's also an incredible opportunity for small businesses like our organization. We incorporated in 2017 to really have that strategic partner to bring in talent where we have that competitive advantage, where these are exceptionally well-trained individuals looking for the right opportunity in a real emerging sector. So kind of as I said before, it's a real win-win situation for our organization to have this amazing talent coming into our organization where we don't always even necessarily have that talent available locally. And then it's also a really amazing competitive advantage that had been identified today in the sense that for a small organization that doesn't have a designated department to bring in foreign skilled labor, it's amazing to partner with an organization where the individuals are already here and we don't necessarily have to go through the logistics and risks associated with that when, again, you're not that big organization. So it's a really amazing program, and I think there's a lot of amazing benefits to companies like ours to partner with this program.
Wonderful. Thank you, Joelle. It really makes me happy to hear. You mentioned competitive advantage twice, and it's really important to hear that you and your company see hiring from the diverse talent pool a real competitive advantage for the company. And it is really, as soon as employers notice that and really celebrate diversity, it turns to a competitive advantage for the organization and for the team, and overall it's just positive experience.
Exactly. The diverse expertise that you now have access to, all of these different things, it's really an amazing opportunity.
Thank you, Joelle. So my next question is to Pearl. Pearl, how has partnering with CCIS helped Tim Hortons foster a more diverse and inclusive work environment? And are there any specific training or upskilling opportunities you provide to CCIS clients to help integrate them into your workplace?
All right, thank you so much for the question. So for us, we're an entry-level workforce, and so it means that there's no need, when you come to us, there's no need for education or experience ahead of time, and that we can provide all of that. But that gives us a unique experience too for newcomers to Canada, that we end up being very foundational in the journey of a newcomer. So some newcomers come to us and their first day at Tim Hortons is actually the first day in their journey into a career at Tim Hortons. They might not know that, most of them don't, but this is the first step in that journey. For some, it's very foundational in the fact that it's one of their first steps in their journey in Canada. And it's that foundational moment of learning about Canada, learning about the workplace in Canada, learning about workplace expectations and labor standards and all these things that can be so incredibly challenging when you first come into a new country, to learn all those unique differences. So we are able to capitalize on the fact that there's already people here looking for work, that we try to take advantage of that fact that there's people that need work, need jobs, and they're already here. And it gives us that great opportunity to bring them in. The diversity in the workplace has multiplied many times working with CCIS, because we have all these people from so many different countries around the world. And so the uniqueness, the flavors that get added, and I speak flavors like socially, but also with appetite, that many diverse and unique meal opportunities and food opportunities come out when you have such a diverse group of people. And so we're learning at the same time that we're teaching. And it makes for a very exciting workplace. It does come with its challenges, of course, as well, because when you bring such a diverse group of people together, people see things in different ways. It absolutely brings some challenges as well, but that just makes us better people in the end as well when we work through those and we learn from each other, and then we grow from each other as well. And the other thing that I want to highlight is that many new Canadians or newcomers to Canada are trying to understand Canada, and Tim Hortons is very Canadian, and so we can offer people that Canadian experience, and they learn all about the double and the Timbit, and that just gives them a sense of belonging and a sense of feeling at home when they can talk that talk, and that's just such a cool piece of the puzzle that we can provide. The other thing about Tim Hortons is that it doesn't matter if you're a lawyer or a doctor or if you're an electrician or a plumber, you likely come and visit Tim Hortons. And so our newcomers to Canada often have an opportunity to meet these people on a daily basis and learn from our guests and learn what kinds of experiences are available in other places. So we know that our experience is going to be foundational for them in one way or another, maybe foundational for a career, maybe foundational for a different career, and that we can be part of that stepping stone. So for the training that we can provide and the upskilling that we can provide, we train on site. Like I said, we're not expecting previous experience. It's great if you have it, not required though. We're not expecting an education beforehand, so we can provide all of the training on site, and a lot of that is transferable skills into a vast variety of other markets as well. And for those who stay with us and work into other leadership roles, we are able to provide that opportunity and that training as well. Even for myself today, I'm actually doing this call from Ontario, and I'm sitting inside the Tim Hortons Foundation's camp computer lab right now because I'm out in Ontario on a training opportunity. And so even my training hasn't ever stopped in 20 years with Tim Hortons. So those opportunities are huge and very accessible in the Tim Hortons world.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Pearl. And can't agree more that it's a wonderful opportunity for newcomers with certain language proficiency just to practice, to talk, to network, to expand their local connections, right? Because as newcomers, we come with lack of social capital, and the best way to add connections is when you are working and socializing and communicating with your clients, right?
And I want to add on your point there, exactly. You hit the nail on the head there when you talked about the interacting with the guests and talking with the guests. As many people are very well aware of, Tim Hortons has lineups. We have lots of people who come in the drive-thru. We have lots of people who come in the front counter. There is no lack of the need to learn to communicate in a building like ours. We don't have time to stand around and to chit chat or to play on our phones while we're at work. We have lots of time to chat, and that is where we have lots of time to chat with our guests when we're taking their orders, and even sometimes when we're getting to know them. And so the opportunity to expand your English knowledge is vast. And we've actually had people who have started with us. I had one lady who years ago came to us as a brand new newcomer, had no English skills at all. She started off cleaning. She worked her way into being the fastest ever coffee station person because she could read off the screen and she could work fast, but she worked her way into an assistant manager position. And these are the opportunities that are available, and it's like a gem of an opportunity, but people don't even realize that it exists until they step foot into a place and realize they can actually make it a career as well.
Wonderful. Thank you, Pearl. Really insightful. Well, it's almost 12:30, and being mindful about the time, we are wrapping up the first round of the questions. And my message to those who joined us, our live session, So who just joined. Just to give you a heads up, we have been talking about the role that employers play in helping to facilitate the economic integration of newcomers, as well as the invaluable contributions of these newcomers to their businesses. And if you have any related questions to the team or discussion for our panelists, please feel free to ask them in the comment section, and I'll do my best to address as many as we can or as time allows us, right? So now let's move forward and just a final set of the questions before I go and start reading the chat questions. And so please, for our panelists, feel free to jump at any time and have a go. And the first question is, could you share a success story of a client recruited from our program? And I believe Pearl just did that, sharing the experience of newly arrived newcomer who made her way to a managerial role, and with no English proficiency, she really was really successful in the role. So please share any success story that you would like to share with our audience of a person who joined your team and was successful within the team. Anyone who wants to share?
I have a really quick example I can ask, or
Yes,
I can share. We had a young lady, her name was Helen. She came from the CCIS program, and she was very outgoing and very friendly, and she just fit right into the hospitality role of Tim Hortons. And she, so one of the things we've been working on is we've been really focusing on encouraging compliments. Instead of always focusing on negative, we try to encourage the compliments, like work towards achieving a compliment. And this girl did just that. Her name popped up on numerous compliments. And, you know, that means that she was a part of somebody's day. She was a part of making somebody's day. And she was a part of seeing that and feeling that. And you know what, that sense of accomplishment, first of all, the guest left satisfied and happy enough that they took the time to put in the compliment. But for Helen, she knew, and she had that accomplishment feeling as well, that she has done her job so beautifully and so well that this guest took the time to actually say thank you to her through our compliments program. So that was just and that's like a very basic, very starting foundational level. That wasn't with promotions or anything, but that's just those moments of success that every one of us needs. But newcomers really do need as well, because newcomers feel, I know when I've traveled, I feel like I'm just lacking in knowledge in every area. So having a moment where you do something, you do it well enough for somebody to compliment you, that is a confidence builder from the ground up for every one of us, especially for newcomers.
Wonderful, and can't agree more with you, Pearl. Thank you for sharing.
I'll share one if I can.
Please, Bill. Yes.
Yeah, I have a gentleman who I brought in as an intern 5 years ago through the power engineering program. We wound up hiring him. He worked with us as a junior operator, and he's worked his way up. He's now an operations supervisor and manages a team of other CCIS students, actually, and manages a number of our buildings here in Calgary.
Amazing. That's the beauty and the magic of CCIS. You know, we have students when they are really new to the community, they come to us when they are one day here or 1 week here. Then they are successfully finishing the program, getting desirable employment. Then they become experienced professional and come back to us, like in Bill's case, and the student who came and started to mentor and hire from the new student pool, right? And that's the magic. Thank you. Thank you for sharing, Bill. Anybody else who wants to share a success story?
Yeah, I would love to share a story about an individual named Jorge who was introduced to us through the CCIS program. And something really special about this individual is he has a very strong database administrator background from Mexico, actually. And he moved to Canada quite a few years ago and had a really difficult time finding a career in sort of ETL background, analytics, data engineering, but it was a real passion of his, and he actually, to sort of help look for a career, partnered with CCIS and went through the program, which is actually how we found him. And it was just a really incredible opportunity to see someone who'd been looking for so long to find their career that they were passionate about, and actually having that opportunity for that individual to step into. And I think what's also kind of an important lesson here is, even though this individual didn't have all of the specific skills to necessarily move into that role right away, I had a really awesome conversation with him, reflecting in preparation for this call, actually, about the importance of communication and having the right resources available to him, so that when he did join, we were able to partner him with a more senior analytics architect to help oversee his first project, and just that constant communication of different training and upskilling if needed. But he's been an amazing addition to our team, and I just feel so grateful that we have him and that we found each other, honestly. So pass it on to the next person.
Wonderful. Thanks, Joelle.
Well,
anybody else? Lisa, Christina, Emma? Any success story? Yes.
I know I mentioned it before already, from two guys that have been with us 16 years, and so they came to with no education and no background in plants or growing or greenhouse, and they are now our two top growers in the whole greenhouse, where they manage their own team of people underneath them. And so I'm super proud of them, personally speaking. And you know what? They weren't afraid to try. They didn't come with English, so they learned how to read English. They took English the summer courses in Picture Butte when they were available. Every night they would go whenever they had the chance. And so they worked themselves up to become one of the top growers in all of Alberta greenhouses, or derived greenhouses. So it's just amazing to see how much work they put in, but also how proud they are of managing their own team. So
thank you, Christina.
And we have an employee that has like 18 years in the company. That was the first one that came as a field labor. He had a little bit of experience, and now is the president of the company. So we are very proud of him as well, and his family. And it's like it's very good to see that persistent and hard work pays off, right? Like, if you want to succeed, you can do it.
yes.
Well, wonderful. And 16 years, Christina mentioned, and Lisa mentioned 18 years. Well, what an impressive number, right? And loyalty that newcomers can show and stay and contribute and grow and excel in their career paths. Thank you for sharing. Just being mindful about time, it's 12:38, and we have 7 minutes to wrap up this conversation. I had more questions. I will try to wrap up and come to my very last question before I go through the questions that our audience asked. What advice do you have for newcomers looking to stand out during the hiring process? I couldn't go without this particular question, because for our audience, it's really important to hear from you as employers. What's that advice, how to stand out during the hiring process? You can start as you want. Maybe we'll start with Pearl. Thank you.
So, like I said before, for us, we are entry level. So there is no experience that is required. There's no education that is required. Those are just details about you that are valuable, but they are not absolutely required. So for us, what we are looking for is that your resume is truly you. So the temptation for a lot of newcomers is to use Mr. Google, as I like to call it, and they go to Mr. Google and they make a resume that is not, it sounds good, but it's not truly you. And so I want a resume that is absolutely 100% you, and that you can engage in a conversation about any point on that resume. whatever it says on that resume, that you can expand on that, you can engage on that, and that we can have a conversation about that. And a resume made from Mr. Google doesn't allow for that kind of conversation. Also, if you're doing a cover letter, I love it when people also include the Dear Pearl, and that they've done their homework. They've come and found out information about the business, about the process, instead of the to whom it may concern or Dear Madame or stuff like that. I love to see the personalization as well. And in an entry-level resume and job letter, or a resume and a cover letter, people often make it very one size fits all, and that really doesn't make it stand out at all. The specific and personalized letter that you've actually taken the time to make sure it is written to me, that will definitely make it stand out.
Wonderful. Thank you, Pearl.
Not a
Joelle?
problem.
Yes, absolutely. I have some points to share, and I actually see a question in the chat too. What are the key points to include in the resume as a newcomer? So one of the suggestions I had highlighted that I want to share with the group is to read the job posting and align your responses to the needs of that job posting in the bullets of your resume. And this can include transitional skills. So making sure that the role that you're applying for has some responsibilities that are similar. And if it's not the same role, you can really pull from your transitional or from your volunteer experience to help align that to the job posting. Some other suggestions I have is to review the company's website and make sure you know their mission, their vision, and their values, and bringing that to your interview. Always have questions prepared. If at the end of an interview I ask a candidate if they have any questions and they say no, that doesn't show a lot of initiative. Make sure you have a LinkedIn profile, and as Pearl said, add a personal touch to your cover letter. Don't make it generic. Make sure your resume is clean and easy to read. Also, to summarize all of that, be prepared for your interview. And last but very not least, make sure you smile. It can go a long way.
Thank you. Wonderful. We'll hear from one more employer, and then I really want to give chance to really read a couple of questions from audience before we wrap up. So one more advice, if any different advice than what we heard from Pearl and Joelle.
Well, my advice is don't put in the resume that you are a senior manager from your own country. Like what Jolly said, you have to cater your resume to what the employer really needs. Because when and then like the question, oh, we want to know, like, are you interested in this job? Like, we are not interested what position you've been before, right? Because it's a transitioning, like Jolly said. So that's most of the experience that I'm encountering when I see, oh, sometimes I don't want to interview them anymore. I said, oh, it's a process of elimination from our side when we see those uh, uh, very high expectation, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you apply to a small company, we expect that we have to teach you, we have to train you, right? So yeah, that's the experience.
Thank you, Emma. To say it slightly differently, perhaps the best way to say it, market your skills based on the need. Tailor, really, it's sometimes overselling can be as harmful as
Yes.
underselling. Really read carefully what employers need and talk about your skills that are relevant and will help you to succeed in that particular role, right? Am I right? Yes. Thank you. So just being mindful again about the time, one very last question, and the question will go to Bill. One of the questions from audience is why Canadian experience so important for companies? Newcomers could have a lot of international experience, but the lack of Canadian experience is always a barrier. Any comments to this, Bill?
Well, for what we do, a lot of it has to be around building relations for like high rises and stuff like that. But that's not a be all and end all. A lot of what I look for is staying with a job for a long period of time, having the ability to learn and to ask questions and to um, challenge yourself really. If you can show on your resume somehow that you've been growing and you've been challenging yourself and you've been learning, and you're sticking with a company for a while, those are the things that we look for. That more than anything, I can train most of the skills that we require. It's those softer skills that sometimes people either have or they don't, and if they have them, they're valuable. And if you don't, well, you got to try to find a way to learn them.
And can't agree more. The more we talk with employers, the more we hear if we like the personality, we don't mind to train the skills. And you said just exactly like what we hear from various employers, right? It's 12:45 and we are running 1 minute late, so I will quickly go through my conclusion. I really want to thank to my wonderful panelists and to everyone who joined us for this LinkedIn Live conversation. We really hope you found this discussion valuable and gained some insights on how newcomers are contributing to our province's workforce. We want to especially thank, and I just did, to our panelists for sharing their experience. If you'd like to learn more about our panelist companies, we have shared links to their websites in our comment section. If you are a newcomer looking for a job search support, kindly click on the links in the comment to learn more about CCIS programs. And finally, we would like to remind you that CCIS is committed to supporting newcomers in Canada through various programs and services. If you are in need of employment assistance or have any questions about resources available to you, please do not hesitate to contact us. And thank you again for joining us. And we are looking forward to connecting with you all very soon, perhaps through another LinkedIn Live panel. Thank you and have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you again.
Thank you.